March, and we had 3,000 added in that, and that all came from a dollar fund. Typically, players play a $12 entry for the weekly tournament, and a dollar goes to a local added fund, and another dollar goes to a Reno fund.
Okay, I see how you're doing it there. That's good.
So who do you like in this match?
Who do I like in this match? I don't know. I think I've probably streamed them together at least a half a dozen times. And honestly, I can't tell you who I remember being better, but I've seen Santos win part-time Sunday tournaments a lot more than Greg. But then again, Greg has not played as many as Santos has. I think I'm gonna have to root for Santos at this point, but I'm only going to say that Santos has a slight edge, just a slight edge, because I do know that if both players, either one of these players could catch a gear, and as you know, when players of this caliber catch a gear, it's usually a pretty good one.
And this is a tough table to play on. I mean, the tables here at Family are not the easiest tables to play on. But
no, it's said here that this is the toughest table in Northern California.
Yeah,
this would be the devil table of Northern California, right?
There's several of these around. Usually they have one table in each room.
Yeah.
But this is one of the ones where usually you want to match up. This is the one to match up on.
You know, Bob, I guess I should make it a mission of mine to find out what every devil table is in every state. So far, I know of 2 in California. I also know of 1 in Las Vegas, and that's the one at the Pool Sharks.
California
the Diamond table in the pit.
You know, they're closing right now, but
yeah, they are. Well, they're not closing; they're relocating.
Well, temporarily closing.
Yeah,
but that's 6 months that there's going to be a break.
Yeah,
you know, so,
that's a long time.
Yeah. It's their tables are quite nice.
What are you? Is the World PPA having to reschedule anything because of this?
There have been many that have asked. Right now, there's a Saturday tournament that is happening at California Billiards. Typically, Saturday isn't a good night for tournaments because that's one of the bread and butter nights.
That's kind of like a date night, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's a night where someone would want to come in for action, you know, or
sure.
want to come in to play. And,
yeah.
Usually, it's a good customer night. So I don't think there'll be many other pools that will want to take up the Saturday night. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they are doing good. I think the week before the shootout, or maybe 2 weeks before, they had 40 tournaments in 1 week. I mean, 40 players in 1 week, so that's quite a...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, quite a turnout.
Yeah. So how do you like running this organization? I mean, I know that you have help too, and it's Al
Markowski. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Al's pretty good. You know, a lot of times I'll sit and I'll work on something, and I'll call Al to give some input, and he's been a very big help.
Well, just like that, Bob, it's already 1-0. Greg Harada in the lead.
Everything I have it tricked out. I got a spot well.
How's your game?
You know, I won't say that I'm ecstatic with my game right now, but I have had experience where if I'm playing for about 2 days straight, I'm very quickly back in stroke. You know, so, but I won't say that I'm at the top of my game after 2 days of playing. But if I had the time, I'd definitely be playing more.
I really appreciate these streams, and so a lot of times after the stream, I'll see you matching up afterwards on the stream table, and it's kind of cool to watch you play. You're really a pretty good player yourself.
I appreciate that, but I'll tell you, usually I play my worst pool ever when I play after one of my streams, because I've been sitting in a chair all day, pretending that I know what I'm doing, you know. And then when I get up to play, I usually play horrible. So for you to compliment me after seeing me play after a stream is
I'm sure where my game is. Right?
Oh well, there you go. Yeah.
So look at here. What are you going to do in here? This you got the 4-ball that's kind of tied up there behind the 5, right?
Well, I think that he's probably going to set up a carom or if he gets in line, he's gonna maybe an alternate shot might be a bank, but I think the carom is on for the
Try to make
4 or
it
5, yeah. Which is, you know, the 4 ball is right.
Where do you shoot the 4? Is he going to try to make the 4 somewhere next, or just try to hit it out and play it safe with the 4 after? Or
Well, let's see what he's looking at. I would hit the 4 out
Softly?
towards the other rail, yeah. I don't know what he did there. I don't know if he was
wasn't
trying to play a
do
bank.
carom. He looks like he was trying to hit the 4 off the rail to get the 5 in off the rail.
Yeah, I don't know about that shot. He might have a little bit of stream table jitters.
Yeah, looked like he jumped up a little bit.
Yeah. Your microphone is apparently pretty quiet. Maybe you could just
Okay.
talk a little closer. Yeah, there you
How
go.
about this?
Thank you, Shifting, in the chat room for giving us the feedback.
Yeah, Ed. Hey, I really would love to get it back into hard times. Actually, you know, it went well there, and I don't know what happened, why it went.
Hard
up.
Times Sacramento?
Yeah. It should be there. I know there's some talk. There's a new owner in the Johnny Q that mentioned something to someone about being interested. The World PPA really should be somewhere in the Sacramento area.
Well, Santos overrolling a little bit on the 6, on the 5 ball for shape on the 6. He's kind of smiling to himself.
And I think that what needs to be done is the players just need to talk to the owner of the pool room and just say that you know, we have some interest here and we really want to start doing tournaments. The hard time
Beautiful shot.
is actually it's already in the system, so it's just a matter of having somebody run the tournaments. I'd be, if I were there, I'd be happy to do it, but it's 2 hours away, so it's not practical for me. I know Brian's doing a lot there, so I don't know if he has time for it or not, but somebody, it would be cool if someone was going to do it.
So does Al still have his guitar store?
Yeah, he does. Actually, if you've never been there, you should take a trip over there.
Well, I'm in town for a little while, so...
Al's a luthier, and so he can build a guitar from scratch. And he just showed me a guitar that he put together. It's made out of Brazilian rosewood. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
It's really amazing. I think I asked him how much would he sell it for, and he said he'd let it go for $8,000. That's how nice of a guitar it is. It's beautiful, and he brought it over to the shootout to show everyone, and everyone that has anything to do with working with wood or guitars was really impressed with it.
Wow, being a luthier is almost as mystical as being a cue maker, isn't it?
It's amazing. He's got it down to where, you know, there's so many inches that the frets have to be apart. He makes everything from
Oh,
scratch.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he had an expert play his guitar, and just for the hell of it, he just said, you know, what do you think this guitar would be worth? And the person said, my guess is around $12,000. So the $8,000 is a pretty good price.
Pretty modest, yeah. E-Cuff in the chat room saying that he'll talk to the owners of Hard Times Sacramento for you.
Oh, great. Thank you, Ed. That would be really nice. I know Karen's a pool player. I don't know about Mike, but obviously it affects their business if you have more pool players coming in. The whole goal for the World PPA is to just get people in the pool room. Right now, pool rooms are having a hard time financially. They need those tables with the players on them. And so this is all about bringing players in, just like this. So here we are, 2-0.
2-0, just as we're rambling on here, talking about ourselves. We've got great pool going on, and Santos...
Greg did a nice job on getting the 9 ball. It was a straight 9 straight in.
Yeah, I saw that shot. And, you know, Santos kind of gave him a present there in a way because Santos really had a chance to close out that last rack.
So this is what it's like to commentate during the streaming. This is the first time.
Really? You mean in the time I've known you, you haven't come to visit
me? You haven't
me?
trapped me in the table. This is the first time you got me trapped here. So
yeah, I almost had to put the handcuffs on you.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they say I couldn't do that. I'm no good. You know, but
well, you actually do a pretty good job at it. You know.
Thank you. It's my job to guide it and make sure that everything is, you know, up to par, I guess.
So, how late do you think this is going to be tonight?
4:30 in the morning, something like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm serious. We may have to go to the last 24 players or the last 16 players. So, of 104 people playing today, we got quite a few matches.
How many tables are they using?
There are 17 Gold Crown Brunswick Gold Crown tables here.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, we're talking race to 7 on the first round and race to 5 on the backside. So
it looks like Delbert's done a really great job on getting the tables in shape too.
Delbert uses Ernesto and Oscar Dominguez. So 6 of these tables have been Dominguez with 4-inch pockets.
Wow. I know in their own personal table, I heard that, do they have like...
Delbert's?
No.
Or, the Dominguez's?
Yeah. Is it like 3 7/8?
I would imagine, yeah. I think they have like 3 tables, and I think actually...
At their home, they have 3 tables?
No, I think actually one of them is a 3.5-inch pockets, you know, just to annoy themselves.
I was in China a couple months ago. I went to the Super Billiard Expo at Guangzhou. And played some pool there. I met Florian and
there was a big artistic billiards thing going on.
Great job, and I also got to see Blumdell. He was doing an exhibition on the billiard table and all that. And but if you play pool in China, they have the snooker-like pockets that are there. And they're like 3 inches. I mean, there's only a half-inch spare for the ball to go through. It's really a tough eight-ball game playing on those snooker-like tables.
I could imagine. Especially with the balls are pool balls, right? They're not smaller balls.
No, they're not the smaller snooker balls.
Wow, what a nice kick that was. And look at the shape on the 4-ball. Unbelievable.
So he's just going to have it go down behind the 6, so I put the 5 in this corner up here.
Yeah, but it's up to Santos to do this now. He didn't close out the last rack, and he had a chance.
So it looks pretty simple, like 5 and the 6 down in the corner by the 9.
And the chat room seems to be already negotiating on your behalf for the World PPA to end up back at the Hard Time Sacramento. So let's see what happens. Let's see what develops. And
Tom's a great guy.
Yeah, let's do what we can to support the World PPA. You know, Bob Bolio has tirelessly, you know, you don't. This isn't your day job either. You have another career, another vocation.
Hi, Tom. Yeah, I work as a CTO, Director of IT. And it's a long job. It's tough doing both.
I bet. You know, I'm sure there are days when you get off work, the last thing you want to do is think about
putting entries, entry
fees
and all that.
Yeah. But you do it anyway, and that's great. Santos looks a little rusty. Well, he's been playing everywhere, so he's definitely not rusty right now.
So is he going to go 3 rails around for the set? No, he's just going to go 2 rails.
Nice speed.
Great.
Perfect. And it looks like for this match, Greg has caught the first gear. And
that's so cool, dude. If you just take the shots and just shoot the simple ones and not try to overcomplicate it.
Easier said than done, right?
Yeah.
A lot of talent does Greg Harada have, though, I tell you. A lot of talent.
with so many faces I haven't seen in so long. In other words, that this place has brought them all back for Cole.
For Cole, yeah.
So
Did you happen to know Cole yourself or meet him?
I've taken pictures of him and I've said hi and that, but I didn't really know him on a personal level. And,
you know what? If you get a chance to, is that picture on the flyer? Is that a picture that you took, or on the poster?
The color, the ones in color, right? The ones that are in black and white. Some of them are. Yeah, they are pictures. Some of them are pictures I took. I'm not sure. On the first poster, I think that's mine, and on the second poster, I like that picture.
If you can remember, please email me a few of those photos when you get.
Welcome to them all. Yeah.
And I will post them on the stream a little later tomorrow. You know, when I get the email. Yeah, for those who don't know, Bob is also a very good photographer. He's actually covered many tournaments in the Northern California area. He takes pictures of a lot of the players that belong to the World PPA.
Well, actually, many of the tournaments.
And many of the open tournaments, too, like the Chatito and the...
So, if they go to the worldppa.com, there's a piece of chalk on the bottom that says Picks. And if they click on that, then everyone's welcome to look there. You can download the pictures for free.
Yeah, maybe what I'll do, too, is maybe I'll post a few of those pictures up.
Yeah, they're all there.
Yeah.
Even last week's shootout tournaments.
Oh, wow. Okay. So this looks like it might go back and forth, and I just want to let you know that if you have to go,
I got a parking meter that I got to run out to.
Okay.
Because it's run out, and I need to try to get there before I get a ticket.
You don't even have to explain, Bob. I want to thank you so much for helping out, and also for providing us with this Wi-Fi hotspot that we desperately needed at this event at the last minute. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
and we'll see you in Mountain View.
Wednesday. Right. Okay.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bob Bolio, everybody, of the World PPA organization. Be sure to go to worldppa.com to find out more about the handicap format league that he runs with over 1,600 players in the California area. Greg now is just doing the best he can right now to stay in control of this rack. He's been doing a pretty good job already, closing out his third game against Santos, the giant killer, or the little giant. He is a giant, actually. He's a little giant. And missing, that was a difficult combo. Difficult combo for him, and he missed it so bad that he left Santos. Pretty easy run out, except maybe the 4 to the 5 is the toughest part of this rack. Robert, are you winning? No, you're not?
Not yet. Maybe a little.
Okay. Robert Aldana Jr. Lost his first match. Santos playing a stop shot. With his chance to close out the first rack of this set for him. Score is 3-0, Greg Harada. Santos spins that ball in pretty well. 6 ball now. And this should be Santos. It has Santos written all over it. "105 players today." And a mighty welcome back to Steve Listicow, the table mechanic. And a little BB King playing in the background. Robert, you know how to sing this song, right? The thrill is gone.
Start singing into it. The viewers will go up a bunch or down a bunch if you start singing.
Santos is originally from the Philippines. He now lives in the United States here in Southern California. Santos Sambajon was televised in 2004, playing in the finals of the BCA Open 9-ball championships. He didn't win that event.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can actually see 7.
But several months later, he did beat Mike Davis in the finals of the World Pool Summit in the same year. ESPN has also covered Santos beating Danny Basovich in Skins Billiards Championships. Yeah, also Santos once won $73,000. And that was in the Skins Billiard Championship, the most he'd ever earned in a single event.
We'll be over in a minute. So I'll be back there. Invite you there. You're right, this
Santos' biggest year was 2005, winning $83,000 in tournament winnings. But today is not his day. Are you ready? In the meantime, I'm going to be joined now by a new friend of mine who goes by the name of Marty Carey. How you doing, Marty?
Good, thank you. Thank you.
Have you had the chance to watch these guys play ever?
Yes, I know Santos and I know Greg. I played Greg in Reno before, so I've matched up with him.
Okay. Would you like to take a seat?
Thank you.
Sure. So for those who don't know in the audience, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Marty?
Well, actually, in the last year and a half, I started playing on the WPA World Artistic Pool Tour. Something I've always had a dream of doing. When I was younger, playing on the 9-ball tour, I said if I ever had a chance to play on the trick shot tour, I would take advantage of that, and so certainly it's a dream come true. And we've got a big event coming up July 17th at the Rio in Las Vegas. It's the World Championship, WPA World Artistic Pool Association's yearly event, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's right, and that takes place in the Rio during the BCA National Championships.
Exactly.
And the artistic pool event will happen on the July 17th through the 21st. Are you getting any sort of live coverage of that, or?
Not that I know of. I would imagine AccuSat is probably there doing it.
No, I don't know if that's the case.
No, that's one of the.
Mark Griffin. Well, maybe I should call him.
Yeah, he's probably available for that. But no, that's one of the things we're lacking is the exposure and the recognition, and that's probably why one of the reasons I'm here today is just trying to bring awareness to people that the artistic trick shot players around the world are all meeting together and having our event at the Rio. So we're excited for that.
Well, that is exciting, and actually, this is a very exciting time for you because you really just kind of rose to the surface of the scene over the past several years. Is that correct?
Well, I started playing in New England, the basic 9-ball tour, the Josh tour that Mike Zuglin puts on out there, and so I recently last year, or actually this last March, was inducted into the New England Billiard Hall of Fame through all of my participation on the New England tour. So that was certainly a recognition that was humbling. And that's brought me to the front as far as wanting to promote the game, promote our sport. Doesn't matter if it's one pocket or trick shots or 9-ball. I just want to promote the game. Like we talked about earlier, we want to have the pool rooms, having the players come in there and having the events like this today. And this is great to see, and we want to promote it in every way we can.
Well, I really like your enthusiasm, and actually, you kind of also inspire me because you're doing something else for the younger generation that I have myself thought about promoting, and I'm just so happy to run into somebody who's on the same page. And why don't you tell the audience what else you're doing?
You must be talking about the Boys and Girls Club. What's going on with them? Years ago, when I was back in Maine and an aspiring player on the 9-ball tour, I had the chance to do a trick shot exhibition of my own on Christmas Eve at the Boys and Girls Club in Portland, Maine. And what I took away from that, see the kids so excited and aspire to want to copy the shots that you're showing them. They're jumping up and down and trying to show each other what they know about the trick shots, and it just sticks with them, and it shows the excitement that they get from it. So that's what I took away from it way back then. And then when I finally had the chance to give something back to the sport, I thought that would be a good place to start, was with the Boys and Girls Club. So what I did was, the last year I met with the officials from the California Boys and Girls Club, and I agreed to do a sort of a mini tour around California where I would do a free cue and case raffle at every venue we go to, so none of the kids have to bring any money to buy their way into the raffle. It's free, and they're going to take something away from it with a new cue. And that's how I get the interest, to see how many kids get involved in it. And the last one I had 15 kids, and a young kid named Anthony won the cue, and he was so proud to show off his new cue. So I know how far it goes.
Great. So effectively then, they're not sponsoring you, you're sponsoring them.
Exactly. Yeah, I want to make it happen there. The way I look at it is every one of us pool players have somebody that we could say inspired us when we were young kids growing up. Whether it was your father, your uncle, your brother, a man named Joe, or whoever it was, somebody inspired you somewhere, just as they did for me, and I want to be that person.
It's totally true. I'm originally from Great Britain, and I was inspired by one of the greatest snooker players, Alex Higgins, back in the day, And then I moved to the States when I was, 7 years old, but, I was just inspired, just by the finesse and watching those players, just.
Well, that's what makes a trick shot so exciting. Is it, a lot of it's
the exhibition of it.
The exhibition of it, the entertainment, but it's also, if you really pay attention to the shots, they're fundamental shots. They're basic pool fundamental shots, whether they're a kiss shot, a throw shot, a bank shot, double banks. So that's what, is it's not only trick shots are just entertaining, but they're also expressing the basic fundamentals of pool. And that's what I try to incorporate, trick shots a little bit at a time into the Boys and Girls Club clinics that I do, because it gives those kids that excitement to see balls going in several different pockets at once, and they really get oohs and ahs on that.
That's really great, and it's close to my heart too, because I went to the boys clubs when I was 12 years old. In fact, O.J. Simpson back in the day came to do a commercial there, and I was in the commercial. I was, I mean, the boys club just goes. It's one of the places that I learned how to play pool.
Well, they have so much going on there with swimming, basketball, and they even have a bumper pool table at the last place I was at. So it's good to take on the kids with that. They know how to play bumper pool, believe me.
Patsa in the chat room saying that POVPOOL is welcome. I'm not really sure what I'm welcome for, but maybe somebody's been drinking a little bit.
Yeah,
anyway,
he's not in the event.
Well, I'm glad to have made your acquaintance. When is your next event? I mean, how can we find out about you?
It's in 2 weeks.
Is there a website we can go to, or?
Yes, there is. At the we have the artisticpool.com is one, and then there's the WPA, which is the World Pool Association, handles all of our world rankings. And as of today, I can proudly say I'm ranked 24th in the WPA rankings.
WPA.com?
WPA, yes. And about a month or so ago at the Super Billiards Expo in New Jersey, I finished 5th at the Masters Trick Shot Championship. So that was quite an event for me too.
Yeah, that's right. You were telling me about that.
5th place. Yeah, I'm real happy with that.
Yeah. And were you not also recently inducted into a Hall of Fame?
Well, that's what's the Hall of Fame has been the key. In my speech at the Hall of Fame, we all had to give a speech, and I ended my speech by saying that to be into the Hall of Fame with Boston Shorty, Larry Liscotti, and Nick Vlahos, it raises the bar for me. I'm held to a higher standard now, and I promised that I would not let them down. And so that was another reason to jump on the Boys and Girls Club. Was I felt that I had a duty to do something with the game and the sport and the kids. And like I said, you were inspired by the Boys and Girls Club, so if I can get one kid's interest in what would happen if one day that kid became a world champion or just a great player, that would be enough for me. So that's the reward.
Absolutely. I mean, it's guys like you and like the Billiard Education Foundation, guys like
Kimberly Griffiths.
Yes, Kimberly Griffiths.
She's doing a lot with it.
Jerry Machin, a room owner in Ventura that held a junior national championship and offered two spots to the junior nationals in Vegas, and also to the female professionals. Whenever they have an event, they do a clinic for the kids there before they do a tournament. You know, it's people like you and like all those that support the kids that are really going to help this sport grow. And you know, I'm just glad. I'm glad that you're doing it.
Well, thank you very much. It's worth it to me personally, and like I said, if I have one kid that comes up and becomes just a great player, or even just enjoys it and brings his friends into the game, it's all worth it for all of us. So that's the best I can do.
Well, the best is good enough.
Yeah, that's the best I could have done. Yeah. It's rewarding for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I tell you what, you know, if there's anything I can ever do to work with you guys, just feel free to contact me. You can contact me through my website, and we'll definitely exchange information after this.
Well, you're doing a great job. I mean, that's how I located you, as I see you're out there all the time doing these kind of things, and we want to try and get the word out there just like anything else. And the more we can speak about it and encourage people and show them what we're doing, you know, the game's not falling asleep. We're all out there trying to make it happen. So we're all working together.
This is the beginning of the West Coast swing, Marty.
The West Coast swing, yeah. And now we've got the American Billiard Club that's starting up, and that's all happened on the East Coast recently with Joe Tucker and Mark Griffin.
Yeah, the ABC League, is that what it's called?
Exactly, the American Billiard Club League. It's the premises American rotation, which you have to read up on that and have Joe Tucker explain it to you. But I can tell you, they've
Actually, you can go to my YouTube channel and you can see an American rotation match that I streamed between Ronnie Alcano and Max Eberle. It's about 2 hours long. Plenty of explanation of how that game is played, and you can also visit Joe Tucker's website.
perfect. I saw that being posted the other day that they had the match on there. So once people get an idea what it entails, and I can tell you that the East Coast is totally full from Florida to Maine. They've got every state covered, Maryland, Georgia, all the way up and down. I know Joe Tucker recently came back from a road trip
I saw him
in Tennessee and
I saw
Tunica
him in Las Vegas.
and Las Vegas
To
because
visit Mark, and he came to watch the tar match out there between Efren Reyes and Shane Van Boening. Yeah, it was Efren and Shane.
right. So I know the East Coast is filled up. I know he's doing the Midwest, and then recently I found out that some of the rooms in Southern California, which is Sal Butera's room and the Hard Times in Bellflower, they've picked up the information that they need, the jackets, which I brought one here today for Chris Williams, and he'll be going over that with the Family Billiards here in San Francisco. We're going to try and put a team together here, and we're going to get 3 other places, rooms throughout Northern California. And basically, I'm just the messenger. This isn't my thing other than helping out. Again, I'm around the circuit, so I figured it was a good chance for me to pass this stuff along, and if it works out, great.
I'm trying to find out who Disco Bug is in the chat room.
One of our lady followers.
I don't know. They're asking me how I like San Francisco. I love San
We
Francisco.
love it here. Are you
Every
kidding?
time I come here, I love it.
That's why I live here now. I mean, people say
Yeah,
you
you're in
live.
Santa Cruz now, right?
You're just.
You're not far from me.
No, you're in the Hall of Fame, the New England Hall of Fame, and you live in California. It doesn't seem to make sense, but that's it. I'm a true Mainer, and I live out here.
Cold over there.
It's too cold in Maine. This weather's beautiful, so that's why we love it here.
You know, guys, I want to apologize. I'm not going to make any excuses, but we have not really been sweating this match. Greg Harada now up 4 games to 2 against Santos Sambajon, who is fighting his way back.
Don't count him out.
No, definitely don't count him out. I saw him beat Corey Harper the other day 9-0
Oh my God.
in the finals of a Sunday tournament at Hard Times Billiards.
Yeah, he's strong. He every event I go to, he's there. So.
So, what trick shot would you do right now?
Well, you know, one of my that's a question that we have on our profile. Whenever we get introduced at events, they like to tell the crowd what trick shot is our favorite, and I think that a lot of us pick the just showing off trick shot that Steve Mizrak made famous years ago with the Miller Lite bottles of beer, where he would shoot at one shot and make 3 balls in 3 pockets and set up for a 5-ball shot where the cue ball would go around the table, 3 cushions, and then he would lift up the beer bottle and say, even when I'm just showing off, and the cue ball would roll underneath and knock in the last ball. And that's always an exciting shot, and I think most of us guys like that one.
If you're not careful, I'm gonna ask you to grab your cue. I'm gonna put you up here.
I don't think I've ever passed up a chance to do a trick shot.
Oh, all right, there you go.
So,
Well, I hope everybody's having fun. We have just over 130 people now watching this live stream from Family Billiards in San Francisco, California. This is the beginning of the West Coast Swing of 2013, which is comprised of a trifecta of events. Actually, this year it's 4 events. The 4th being in Las Vegas at the Rio.
somebody's telling me that Steve Mizrak's famous for straight pull, not trick shots. Well, he's very famous for straight pull, but he's also very famous for that trick shot that was done on TV. Everybody can mention that shot. But you're right, we won't disagree on the straight pull.
Now, keep in mind, the person saying that is Disco Bug, who
That's our
apparently
Disco.
seems to know you.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
One of your friends is Giving you a hard time here.
I'm not surprised. I know people from every state in this country, so I've got a lot of years. I started playing pool in 1967. So I counted recently 45, 47 years, so.
Are you familiar with Greg Harada?
Yes, I was saying earlier how I played him in a tournament in Reno. I actually beat him. I didn't know who he was.
That's right, you were telling me that.
Yeah, I beat him at the bar table championship last year. So I was quite surprised. He just seemed like another contender to me.
Any reason why you didn't, register for this event?
Well, I've got my dog with me, and the weather's supposed to be 100 degrees today here in California, and I didn't want to get stuck with my dog out in the vehicle. I tried to set him up in a pet resort, and when I called last night to make arrangements, they were full and couldn't take him. So my only choice was to take a chance with him in the vehicle, and I didn't want to make hours upon hours. So, and plus I thought it might be pretty busy around here with all the parades going on here and the new change in law out in California.
Hey now.
I thought there might be a lot of traffic.
There's a lot of traffic in this pool hall, that's for sure.
Yeah, there sure is. This is a good turnout. Doing a great job.
It's like the humidity is almost worse than a summer night in Boston, isn't it?
In Boston, the humidity.
Score now still 4 games to 2. Santos now trying to figure out what to do with this 5 ball. What do you like here?
Well, I think he's going to have to kick. If he has no straight shot, he's looking up table to see where he's going to kick to.
I think what he wants to do is kick safe.
Obviously.
Trying to bring the 5 ball up behind the 7.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why he was pointing over there.
But I think the end result of that is the cue ball sort of ends up in the middle of the table, so he's got to be careful on the speed here.
Table speed, real slow.
Oh, he's trying to play it. You know what? That was a good idea, but is it going to backfire?
Have you seen this kid jump? The kid can jump like he's blindfolded, so.
Oh, which? Greg?
Yeah.
Oh, Greg.
Here he goes. He's going for his jump cue right now.
Greg's a great jumper.
Yeah, I watched him earlier, so when I saw that leave, I figured he'll just jump it in.
Yeah, Santos is a substitute on the game bonus ball. He's an alternate on Earl Strickland's team with Warren Piamco.
Out of New York.
Yeah, and Dennis Hatch. Is that
right,
yeah.
Right. Is that Steinway Billiards?
Yeah.
Steinway.
Earl's now, look at that.
I knew he'd make it.
Earl's now the house pro at Steinway.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. He's gained a lot of respect over the years,
Earl deserves it.
Sure. I listen to him all the time, go off on the crowd, and as a true entertainer.
Oh, we love Earl. Come on.
Yeah, I do
putting
too.
On a show.
I know that.
Really always do. And he has no filter.
No, he has no filter. Yeah, he's fun to watch.
But you know what? He's got a heart of gold. He's a nice.
Yeah, he is a real.
I've heard things about him you would just really surprise you.
Yeah.
Like visiting hospitals, anonymously.
Right.
Just visiting hospitals and burn units.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. Huh.
Just that he loves dogs and cats. He adopts stray animals. And he just, wants to take care of them.
Wow. That's good.
I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm not gonna tell too many of his secrets.
I actually have a small story with Earl. I played in the BC Open in Binghamton, New York, back in the early '80s, and I chummed around with Earl a little bit. And we both won our matches, and we didn't have to play the rest of the day. So he said, "Let's go play some golf later this afternoon." And we found a tee time in a local place and drove out a few miles away from the Binghamton area, and we started playing golf. And it was just him and I out there, and we had the golf cart, and we were keeping score, and all of a sudden, he had a 2-foot putt for a par, and he hurried up, and he kind of tapped at it, and it ringed around the cup and came out. So I automatically wrote down a bogey on the scorecard. And when he came back to the cart, he went off on me about that bogey.
Well, I tell you what.
I could have made that putt if you just waited a second. I didn't hurry. I could have made that putt. So I didn't want to think that Earl was going to fudge the scorecard playing golf. So I gave him the benefit of the doubt and changed the score to a par. That's my funny story.
Santos right now is whistling Dixie right now. He missed a real easy 7-ball, and he got lucky in a way. Is he riding the
Look at this. It's in. Oh,
my God.
Thought he had it.
What a great attempt.
Santos is looking like he's got a second chance.
He played, well, Greg played the cue ball here. He 100% played the cue ball.
Yes, very good.
And look at it. He froze it to the rail.
Marty Carey. Got some feedback?
Got a disco girl on there that likes me.
Disco bug.
Disco bug, even worse.
This is to promote pool, not pussy.
That's what's happening. They found me.
Where's your traveling mate, the redhead?
Barbara and I?
Yeah.
We don't want to.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought you guys were friends. I didn't know anything about it. I just...
For the win, Santos. Oh, he's glad to take that win.
Just excuse me for a second. I'll be right back, Marty.
All right. I'll take over the live demonstration here while you're gone.
Score now is 4-3. How did Santos close that out?
He made the 7. Length of the table, off the rail, made the 7. And got shape on the 9, knocked it straight in the corner. He might have his confidence back now.
Yeah.
So Santos flew the table with the cue ball.
No. I thought about turning the air conditioner on, but I haven't decided yet. ¿Qué onda, loco?
¿Sabes qué se llama? Pues porque la tele está con él.
Lining up the 1 ball. Ball in hand, getting it nice and close. Uh-oh. It's all right. If he gets an angle, he'll have to go past the 3. See, he had an angle. The 4 goes by the 8, so he's going to play the 4 on the side. He's got to have the right angle so he can stay down table with the cue ball in position for the 5 ball. Ooh. Uh-oh. Just what he didn't want. Have an up table angle. He got a little tentative on that shot. He wanted to be down table angle. He's going to have to come up table 2 rails. Clear the 6 ball. No, sir. He went the other way with it. Didn't help out. And he left Santos a tough cut. Again, it's an up table angle where the cue ball is going to have to come up around. So once again, while I've got everybody on here, I want to mention the American Billiard Club because I know that Joe Tucker Griffin are really putting together a groundbreaking event. Good shot, Santos. 3 rails around. Get an angle, get an angle. Okay, you can come back up table. I just want to make sure I mention this American rotation game that's taken off like wildfire. And from what I've read, and you're all welcome to go online and read that yourself and get all the information you can. It's all self-supporting. It pays for itself. At this point in time, they're not asking for any sponsors. They're just trying to get it established, get the interest, get the trust of the players. And Joe Tucker told me himself that if anybody has any questions and wants to know anything about this game and what it consists of, that you can feel free to call him, and he would gladly explain it to you. I think Santos went too far with that cue ball. He didn't want to be there. He might pull a shot out. You know, my opinion on that American Billiard Club too is that we've got to give it a chance, folks. You know, we've waited 40, 50 years for sponsorship and for pool to take off and to get the recognition that it deserves. And we've waited and we've hoped and prayed that it would take off and we'd get the recognition and sponsorship and the events and the prize money, and you know, at least let the game grow. At least let the game grow and give it a chance to grow. So this American Billiard Club League is a great effort. And who better than Mark Griffin, who has a CSI International? He can put together any pool tournament room in a day. He can put together a tournament with all of his diamond tables, and it's going to be great. I'd like to see it take off out here on the West Coast like it has on the East Coast, and that's why I'm helping Joe and Mark to pass on this information. So we'll see how far it goes. Santos really messed that rack up. He couldn't seem to get position on that 7, so he ended up double kissing it, leaving him open. Greg should get out.
Si nos da cigarro, dice el puto, ya está fumando. Ya lo voy a ir a cagar.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
Got it. He wiggled it in, but he got it. Makes the score 5-3. Greg. I certainly appreciate this time today, the chance to let everybody know what's going on with the American Billiard Club League. I wanted to make sure that everybody knew there was a bunch of rooms that were getting involved in that. And also the opportunity to express the Boys and Girls Club movement throughout the state of California. So I appreciate the chance to be able to express that and share it with Daniel.
Hey Marty, I'm sorry about that. I'm looking for a chair. No, you sit.
You were looking for it?
But I'm looking for a chair.
Oh.
I can't seem to find one. There's not one chair in here that I can take for...
The place is packed.
So I'm actually squatting on my knees next to, squatting on my legs. Next to Marty.
I couldn't do that.
Marty gets the chair.
Yeah, I couldn't last like that very long.
And I had knee surgery last year.
Oh
so
boy,
it's not easy.
I need it myself. It pops every time I stand up and sit down. I've been keeping this match going for you, so.
6 games to 3. Greg on the hill.
5 to 3.
5-3. Yeah.
Santos catches his win. I think we'd see a tie match real quick. Because some of the shots he's making, the mistakes he's making, don't seem typical to me.
I'm going to give a big shout out to my friend Andy Chen. I hope you're okay today. Who just sort of feeling ill, who wanted to come up here and play. I hope you're doing well. Andy Chen, pretty well known in the pool world, has done a lot of work with live streaming events such as the Action Reports. And I miss you up here, bud. There's a lot of your friends here. In fact, I'm going to give you a call right now.
I hope it all works out for him.
Huh?
I hope everything works out for him.
So do I.
Hey, where's that Amar?
Found himself a hole.
Well, before I leave, I'll finish this match out, this game with Santos. For those people that are enjoying my commentating. So, my little disco bug, if you want to identify yourself and let me know who you are on there, I could probably say something back to you. I can't imagine who that would be. Disco bug. Huh. In Maine? Somebody in Maine? New England?
Hey, when you come to my case?
No, Delbert's not playing today. Marty, tell us a gambling story. I was never really much of a gambler. I didn't like gambling because to me it degraded not only the sport, but it degraded any kind of friendship or relationship between the two people. I enjoy playing tournaments with a structured format where, yeah, we're playing for money, but it's not so cutthroat as it would be gambling. With all my years coming up, I remember being sharked many times. We won't go into all the ways they can shark you, but believe me, they still do it. So I enjoyed the tournament formats, and I got accused many times of not having much of a gambling game, which was fine with me. I'll play in any tournament, but I don't need to gamble heads up with anybody and go through that war of wits. And so, sorry.
Right behind you.
Come on, Disco Bug, give yourself up. Who are you? I could guess, but I wouldn't say it online unless I was sure. Great story.
See your keys. I'm gonna check on Buddy.
Let me see if I can think of any other great gambling stories or something close to it. Oh yeah, you know what? I do have kind of a funny gambling story. Back in the 80s, I was doing an exhibition with Norm Weber at an opening of a billiard club in Maine. And we had a $500 grudge match where he did his trick shot exhibition and I did a few trick shots on the side. And then after the match, we did kind of a challenge. After the trick shots, we did a challenge match where we played a typical tournament format, race to 7 games of 9-ball for the $500. So as the story goes, it was like 6-6, and we were both on the hill, and I was running out on the 7, 8, 9, and as I shot the 7-ball into the corner pocket, I put a little left-hand English on it to get the cue ball up table, and somehow that English transferred over to the 7-ball, and when it hit that leather cuff in the back of the pocket, it came flying out sideways, spinning and hopping around, and just it didn't fall in the pocket like it was supposed to. So of course Norm jumped out of his chair and ran up to the table and pocketed the 7, 8, 9 for the easy, cool $500 win. Well, let me tell you something. He didn't get away with that money. We took him down to the local Atrium Hotel where they had lobster specials, and we all brought as many people together as we could from the pool hall, from the exhibition. And we sat there and ate lobsters and clams and everything that scallops, all the great seafood from Maine. We sat there, and I'm going to tell you what, he did not leave with any of that money. So that's probably one of the best gambling stories I got. And with that, Greg Harada just pocketed the 9. He's now ahead 6-3. It looks like he might pull this out. Like I say, if Santos gets his win. So that's my other gambling story. Oh, Mike DeShane, my boy from Maine. Yeah, I grew up with his father, Fred DeShane. I grew up with Fred DeShane, so we've got a lot in common with Mike.
Where's all the pool players at?
We're still trying to figure out who Disco Bug is. She won't identify herself.
It might not be a she.
Well, you know.
So Greg's on the hill.
Yeah, Santos has had his chances. If he starts something here, it could be a turnaround. That's all it would take.
And if you're just joining us, guys, once again, we are at the Cole Dickson Memorial Tournament here at Family Billiards in San Francisco. Streaming all day today and tomorrow. 104 players entered this event. And I'm sitting here with Marty Carey. This is Daniel Busch. You're watching POVPOOL. Did you know Cole Dickson?
No. No, he's a West Coast, not New England, so.
Yeah. Well, he went on the road quite a bit.
Yeah,
he might have knocked heads. One of the, maybe he told you his name was Larry. Or
I'm telling you, I met people like that. I remember when Efren first came into the country, he didn't have that name.
Yeah, he was Cesar Morales.
Right. I remember in the early 80s when he first came to Atlantic City.
Yeah. And he beat Buddy Hall in a tournament in Texas.
And that's when his real name came out.
Yeah, that's when his real name came out.
Yeah.
And then later that evening, Buddy Hall beat him out of $10,000 in an action game.
Not surprised.
All right, Santos jacked up here, trying to kick at the 2-ball.
Oh, hit the 3.
2 rails, and he misses. And this could be Greg's
final chance here. He'll probably get out and it's over.
Santos's swan song. My knees can't handle it. No, you're good.
You sure?
I'm not going to. I am not going to let you stand.
You just got to jolly with that. Someone likes my lobster story. I was telling stories about lobsters.
Oh, yeah.
How Noam Weber beat me out of $500, and I took him to the restaurant and made him spend it all on lobster dinners for all of our players from the room.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He didn't get away with any of that money. Norm Weber, for anybody's interest, is still with us. He's in Carlsbad, California. And he's in a nursing home. And the story has it that there are pool tables in the nursing home and that he still occasionally dresses up in his trick shot attire with his vest and stuff and goes downstairs and does trick shots for the guests. I think that's the coolest thing. He's like over 85 years old, still doing exhibition in his own nursing home.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, another chance.
Unforced error, but I think Santos is going to have to jump here. I'm not used to seeing Santos carry a jump cue, so he's massing.
He's spinning it. He can hit the rail and still make it. Oh my God.
Miscue.
This just doesn't look like his match.
That's going to hurt. This doesn't look like Santos.
No, it's uncharacteristic of him.
So let's see. If you beat Greg Harada and Greg has beat Santos, this means you can beat Santos.
I'm sure. Beat anybody. I like the logic. Well, I beat Greg Harada when I didn't know who he was. That's the another thing I tell you, I was in Atlantic City.
Offer him up the 8 ball. Maybe he'll take it.
That's it. Yeah. That's the same way I played Keith McCready in Atlantic City. I didn't know who he was. Best way to play him was not know who he is. Just shoot lights out.
Actually, you know what? That is the best way to play because you have no fear.
I had no clue who he was. I just played my game and I found out later.
Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, they just called me, so yours is going to be next.
I think it's Quaitons for Santos.
Yeah, Quaitons.
Greg Harada using a new playing glove. Have you noticed his fingers?
I didn't notice the glove. It's so small.
It's a new playing glove, and he's sponsored by this company. I believe it's called the Euro Sport Finger Glove. I'll have to get a quick interview with Greg after this match so that he can endorse his sponsor.
It's a little more slimline. Can't see it.
Yeah, and apparently he says it's very comfortable to play with.
Looks like he's done it. Uh-oh. Blow down. Nah, he's all right.
He overrolled a little bit, but I think he's going to be okay.
That's probably why they made that glove a little smaller, because people complain about, I don't want to be seen with this big glove on, so they made it smaller, and it covers all the areas he needs, whereas bridge hand is.
That's going to do it for Santos Sambajon and Greg Harada. Final score of 7-3. Greg effectively steamrolling.
Moving on.
In this match. And moving on to the next round, Santos Sambajon will be knocked to the one-loss side. So for those Santos fans out there, he's still in it.
Don't count him out.
But he wasn't able to stay in control of this match. So we're going to have another match shortly, folks, as soon as I get the word from our tournament director, Chris Williams of Rack and Roll Productions. This is Daniel Busch. I also want to thank Marty Carey for coming to hang out.
Me.
Why don't you tell us once again how we can get a hold of you, how we can find out more about you?
Well, on our websites, we have the artisticpoolplayers.com. That's real easy to remember. And the
WPA.com, right?
The WPA, which is the World Pool Association, and the other one is the APTSA. You can look that up, and that'll show our rankings and keep everybody current on the next tournament. Thanks again for having me, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you, Marty. And just real quick before this recording's over, I want to say congratulations to Greg Harada beating Santos Sambajon 7-3. How you doing, Greg?
I'm good. I just won. You know, I didn't play that well, but Santos played worse.
Yeah. How'd you feel in the match? Were you before you're like, oh gosh, I got to play this monster on the table?
Well, you know, Santos has beat me the last couple times we played, and I knew we were going to play on the stream table, and my last matches were on the 5-inch pockets, so I was a little nervous because I hadn't warmed up on any tight pockets lately. You know, I was just lucky to take advantage of his mistakes. I didn't really play that great, but luckily he made the mistakes and left me some easy outs.
It's good. And also, I was just discussing your glove that you're using. Tell us who manufactures this glove again?
Well, it's called the Euro Finger Wrap, and I think it's manufactured by the same people who make the Pocket Chalker. And it's a good product. I like it. I've been using it for about 2 months. I was never really a glove person, but I started using this. I like it because it doesn't cover the whole hand. It's just mainly just the parts you need, and it works really well. So if anyone's interested, and I recommend picking up some.
Is there a website that they can visit, or somewhere they can go to get pictures of this? Or
yeah, it's available on PocketChalker.com.
PocketChalker.com.
Yeah.
And what does this glove retail for? Do you know?
I believe around $12, $10, $12.
That's pretty affordable.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
And it feels like it might be thicker material than a regular glove, so it might actually last longer.
Yeah, you know,
because I know those gloves, they can go out on you, like the seams split real easy.
Well, this one I've been using for about 2 months, and I use it every day about 4 to 5 hours, and it's held up really good. So I like it a lot.
All right. Well, you've just told us way too much. You've told us that you're playing for every day now for 4 or 5 hours a day.
Maybe.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on this win against Santos. I look forward to catching you in many more matches in the West Coast Swing this year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Greg Harada. And now we're going to have a match between Deo Alpahora and Mary Rakin. So stand by.